Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again, and today, well, we're going to be reviewing one epic Tony Stewart diecast from 2007, the Home Depot primary Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. Yes, a lot of people don't remember that in 2006 and 2007, the Monte Carlo, well, wasn't just Monte Carlo, it was actually Monte Carlo SS. Kind of I guess, a precursor to, of course, the 2013 Chevrolet SS. So anyways, let's take a look at this car here, guys. The paint scheme for this freaking diecast is just bright, borderline fluorescent Home Depot orange. I tell you, it is the most iconic shade of orange in motorsports. I tell you what, the Home Depot livery, man. So you got Home Depot right there on the hood here. I mean, look how beautiful these Gen 4 hoods are. Just, I love it, man. I certainly miss these cars. They're the best ever stock cars ever produced here. Now, this one is used. There's some scrapes, some grime across the car here, but you know what? It's going to happen to a diecast that was released in probably early 07. So you got Monte Carlo SS right there on the front of the car here. You got a whole bunch of contingencies. This whole video is going to be a throwback here, pretty much, guys. So you got Gatorback, belts, Comp, Edelbrock, Sudoku, Dow, Wicks, and Ribesto. So it looks like this fender here was chipped, and that's why the decals are cut off there, because you can see they're present on this side. Got a small paint chip there. Again, this car is used, so you're going to have that. But one of my favorite things about these Gen 4 cars, so if you go and watch a Gen 4 race from, let's say, 2007, 2006, whatever, let's say they're at Texas, let's say they're at Auto Club, the front end of this car is so skewed out, like, right here, it looks like it has a flat, small air dam right there on the front valence, right? Well, if you look at the actual cars on track, the whole front is flat as a board, like it's flat, like vertically. It's not, or I'd say horizontally, right? But this one, with it being a diecast, obviously they didn't do that. This is what the car would look like, maybe as a template, so to speak. But of course, when they get to the racetrack, NASCAR allows them to modify and bend the fenders out. I mean, these things were... They used to call these cars the Twisted Sisters because the whole front end of these cars, there's a certain diameter, right? And NASCAR said, okay, you can bend the metal and do whatever you want. It has to be within a certain box. So the whole front of these cars, the teams played with pretty much. And that was back in the day when a speedway car could not run a road course race because they actually had certain bodies and certain chassis and stuff for each track. So, of course, you know, the sport had a lot more money into the sport, of course, but yeah, definitely a huge cost-saving measure with Gen 5 was to make the cars universal. A short-track car can be lightly modified to run a super speedway race and vice versa. So you got smoke right there as the Tony Stewart driver banner. I like that with the orange, very, very sharp. One thing I really like about this paint scheme, and it's very similar to the 2002 Dale Earnhardt Jr. paint scheme. If you notice on the Dale Jr. paint scheme from 02, the A, B, and C pillars were painted black with a thin little white stripe here, and it just really reminds you of the Budweiser number 8. Of course, it doesn't have the stripes across the side here, though. Now, the axle here, yeah, you could definitely see there's a little plastic piece that holds the wheel to the actual metal axle. That piece has been broken. That's why it's pretty much like a tie rod, basically. It holds it in place, and that one, unfortunately, has seen better days. So you got the Goodyear decal here, and even though it looks like the Goodyear decal it looks like it's severely out of place, it actually might be in the correct spot because, again, the whole front of these cars were so warped and skewed. I mean, you could check it out, the photos of these cars, and definitely might be actually accurate there. NASCAR Race Car Nextel Cup Series. You got the Mechanics Ford Holly. I think that's Checkers, I think. DirecTV, USG, Bootleg, Budweiser, Polawood, Commits, Autometer, Jegs, Clevite, 3M, Mac Tools, Denso, Jezel, and Stance. Got the number 20 there. Got some damage or Sharpie on there, unfortunately. Now, these decals right here are so freaking little to see. I mean, my goodness. What is it? Old Spice, maybe Mr. Clean, and looks like Coca-Cola there. Over to the right rear of the car here, got Doosan, whatever that is, and safety clean. I got a Home Depot right there. I got the Home Depot logo once again. To the back end of this car, again, we have a little bit more of a unfortunate Sharpie smudge right here, but I love the 07 ducktails. Very nice, very smooth back end of the car. One of the distinct differences between an 03 and an 07 Monte Carlo is that the 03s actually had a small little divot right there with the Chevrolet bow tie. Think of it kind of like a license plate area, but with these, they definitely flattened it out, so it looks pretty good. Home Depot right there, the spoiler, which is a ducktail spoiler, I like to call it. It's all painted black. Notice the very thin pinstriping as well, along the whole bottom of this car. Very, very sharp. And you can see the tire here again. There's a little plastic piece that goes behind the tire. I'll try to show it here. There's a little plastic piece, a little ball joint. Well, if that plastic fractures, basically, this thing just freewheels, right? This wheel right here, I believe, yeah, this one still has it intact, so it's not freewheeling, is nowhere near as bad. But this one, definitely, it's kind of all over the place. It does happen, though. Sometimes these cars get stepped on or whatever. The windows, though, they definitely could use a little bit of a spit shine. a little bit scratched up, unfortunately. But what a beautiful race car, my dude. I mean, the Contingencies, the paint job on this car is absolutely incredible. Now, they got some more markings right here on the roof of this car. A lot of, paint chips around the edges, which is very normal, unfortunately. Got the number 20 right there on the roof. It's a different font than the door numbers. I miss when these cars, man, they were like bullets, man. They were like, what do they call it? Salt flat bullets, man. These things were just so cool. Low profile, extremely fast, full horsepower, too. This is back in the day when you go to a 1.5 mile race, short track, road course. It didn't matter. You had over 750 horsepower. No tapered spacer, no restrictor plates, unless it's Daytona Tower. There you go. But back in the day, man, I tell you, these cars, they rocketed around tracks like Texas Motor Speedway. Got Home Depot once again, man. I tell you, what a beautiful diecast in 2007. Really is. These cars are actually pretty easily to get in the winner's circle because for the newer fan out there, 2007 was a mixed release. You had the COTs, and then you had the Gen 4. So everyone that goes to the racetrack is going to want the COT version of the Home Depot car because they ran both car models that year. So these cars kind of got forgotten because by the time 07 was over, everybody wanted the COTs. They didn't really care about these cars too much. And yes, there are some that are really expensive and hard to get. But for the most part, these are very, very common. And with Tony Stewart winning the 05 championship, his diecast production numbers were well up there with like I'm not saying Dale Jr., but he's definitely up there with Jeff Gordon, So this is a very common car, but it has seen some better days, unfortunately. Anyways, folks, thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get free shipping on any NASCAR diecast, you want to get hats, t-shirts, 124s, 164s, you want to get free shipping, guys, just any orders, $20 more. Just 20 bucks. 3 diecasts, right? 3 diecasts, maybe a hat, whatever. Guess what? Promo code Diecastbuffet, you'll get free shipping. So if you can, check that out. It does help out the channel. And with all that being said, folks, have a great one. Diecast Buffet, signing off.